So on today's video, Ali goes in front of the camera for the first time. We get a Ford Focus 1 litre wet belt job in. We're going to be doing the cam belt, the clutch, flywheel for the first time. So we'll run you through, let's see how it goes. Hello and welcome to a very cold January morning, where today we've got a Ford Focus in, 1 litre EcoBoost for a cam belt or wet belt and a clutch change. Now to do this wet belt we've got to pretty much strip out everything. The whole lot's all got to come off. Top ends, all the boost pipes, coolant bottle, get access to the engine mount. We're going to have to drop the alternator and pretty much gut everything out just to get access to it. Clutch on the other hand's pretty simple. Airbox, battery tray, just get a gearbox out. It's not too hard on these, not too bad to do at all. Wet belt will probably take a lot longer, so let's get cracking on. Yeah, mainly it's 10 mils, 8 mils, 7 mils all. Flat blade screwdriver for the boost pipes, pipe work. T30 Torx some places. I think the cover on the side of the engine is mainly 10 and 8 mils, and then all the other bits up here, so 8 mils, 7 mils, couple of clips, a lot of sensors plugged in, but other than that it doesn't look too difficult. Start with, I want to get these boost pipes out of the way. 10 mil there, 10 mil, Jubilee clips, a couple of pipes plugged in. Alright, so the intake pipes are off. Got this one off ready, but let's go further down underneath to remove that one. I'm going to take the throttle body off, start disconnecting all these clips, start taking off these vacuum lines, all the electrical connectors, coil packs, possibly, I'll have to get in there and further wherever the injectors are, injector rail, vacuum hose, basically all these bits and pieces up there. So now I've taken everything off, the coil packs, injector rail, high pressure fuel pump, all the vacuum lines and wiring loom are all up there just out the way. Start undoing all these 10 mils now, quite a few. Get this rocker cover off. When you're taking this rocker cover off, just got to watch out. Little cover support screws on top of one of the bolts there. Covers off, so we've got the belt exposed, all cams. Down here on the floor, so all the components took off. Tried to lay them out as best I could, see how they come off. Nice, still got some bits to take off down here. The intake part there, it's bolts to the cover, bracket here. Obviously the start motor, water pump's got to come off, but I'm going to take it up in the air, get the drive shaft out, get the start motor out, get this engine locked up and get the setting tools fitted to the cams here. Got the vehicle raised now, typical Ford, all the caps will come off. We're meant to be a 19, 18 to get them off, so we'll take those off, get the wheels off. Take this belly pan all off, it's all T30 Torx, there's quite a few of them. Around the back, there's a couple there, there's 3 there in total. So get the belly pan off, get the wheels off, and obviously got to take this drive shaft out, which is a mounting point up, hidden up under here. We'll get that out, and we'll lock the flywheel with the tool. Alright, starter motor's up there, nice and easy to get to, looks like it's been replaced at some point. So take that out, we'll get this drive shaft out, there's a little bracket, just there, 213 mils. So probably do some gearbox oil, need the top up anyway, so it'll come out of there. So pop that out, we'll get up there, will lock the flywheel through the starter motor hole. There's a little 10mm there. Take that out, we get the locking tool in, it will butt up against the crank inside. Of course, we're going to have to drop this exhaust anyway. Get this sump off, clean the strainer out, because we have a bit of belt material in there. Looks like a little bit of a water leak here. Signs of a water leak is all that pink dried coolant on the water pump area, so let's address that, have a look. Got best practice to get that changed while we're in there. This belt's got to come off, tension's got to come off, alternator, aircon compressor, get access to this sump, get that off. First of all, what I'm going to do is get that sump bungler done, get the oil out of the engine, find out if there's any drain plugs. Yeah, there. We'll drain the cooling system, get that all out of there so it's less mess later. Draining the oil out and just found that this cat has actually been replaced. Good thing is someone's kindly changed the bolts, because usually they're studded and the nut is around the other side, which can always be very tight to undo, but it makes the job a bit easier. Happy days.
What was that? What's the scary bit? You got to talk it all up properly. But he's gone all shy now. He was just explaining everything to us, weren't you? I mean, FT, that's staying in, mate. I ain't editing nothing out. That's what we want. We ain't professional. It's fine.
We are professional.
We got this, mate. We got this.
It needs to be done. Professional standard.
It does, mate, doesn't it? Yeah. We got it. Winning team, mate. So you're going to explain to me what you're doing next?
Got to take all these heat shields off.
Yeah.
Anyway. And then get this. I've got to disconnect the connectors for the oxygen sensors, and then drop the cat out.
And drop the cat out of the way.
Yeah, and get access to the sump. I'll remove the sump.
The valve don't look overly bad, really, did it?
Wow. Don't know, you can't tell because it's saturated in oil.
Yeah. Check for cracking and that when it's out. What's up, mate? They're a bit tight.
Yeah, someone's oh, that's gonna snap. Someone's put a nice little double bolt, double nut.
Double nutted it.
Yeah, that one's quite loose.
So this is why you got to be careful.
Yeah, that one
And they're a little bit tight.
Might have to put a little bit of heat on that, or it's going to snap in on the turbo. Yeah, it's moving.
The back's not moving. So this is the problem you got with components that are in hot air, in heated places. You do get them to seize. Yeah, that's going to break, that is.
Get a little bit of heat on it.
So we get a little bit of heat on that. See if we can't work her loose little by little. So we've got a Skoda Yeti in there. It's just come in for a starter motor. Driblet's done that. Our little apprentice. He's getting there. He's doing jobs on his own now, so that's good. Start earning some money out of him rather than him costing us money. And then we've got Ali over here. He's doing his videos today. First time on camera, and he seems pretty comfortable, to be fair. We've gone out to collect some motors and come back, and he's got the camera out, walking you guys through it. So we'll see what the video comes out like.
I was concentrating.
Was it that one?
Yeah. Someone's over-tightened it, cross-threaded it, whatever.
What they done?
Could have over-tightened it or cross-threaded it, or the fact that it's just the type
Where
of
she's on the back of the turbo, mate. So as you can see, things aren't always rosy. So we've got a bolt down here. We've put a bit of heat on it. Even that didn't make a difference. The head still snapped off.
We'll get it out.
But we'll get it out. We've got extractors. He knows what he's doing, so we'll get it out, get a new bolt in there, be good as new.
Right, cat's off. It's a bolt right down there for the securing bracket, and then obviously got to undo one part of the heat shield, which you can see down there still on the cat. And this little one here snap, easy enough to get out, shouldn't be an issue. But now I can get under there, get that sump off, clean the strainer out, carry on from there. Right, exhaust is off. Obviously I've got to tackle this horrible little stud here, do that in a minute. First what I want to do is get this wheel arch cover off, just T30 Torx, quite a few of them, pop that out of the way, get better access to the bottom pulley, turn the engine over, start setting it to top dead centre with these parts on the cam. They're in the wrong position at the moment. I want the flat at the top, it will have like a barcode or part number written on that. Get it out of the top, and then we can start getting the engine timed up. Alright, wheel arch covers off. Gets that bottom pulley now. Just can't see it great. Bottom pulley's up there, line's not great. But get this wheel arch off. You've got T30, just normal Torx bolts. And then you've got a couple of these little panel trim clips. Get yourself a trim tool, like so. Goes in, pop it out. So now that's off, I can turn the engine over. Alright, let's get this engine turned over. As you can see, there's the flats. The tool goes on, the barcodes or QR code pointing upwards. So we're nearly there. Right, before we lock the engine off, we've got to get the start motor out. Down there, I don't know if you can see it very well. It's a 13mm bolt, secures part of the starter motor, the other bolts are underneath. Probably a better look. Got the bolt out. Had to take the battery out and just unbolt, remove the gear cables, unbolt that, just move it out of the way. Makes life a little bit easier. This out now. Alright, starter motor's all loose now. Just got under the connectors, take it off out of the way, get it all in. Can't see it great here, the light. There's a 10mm bolt there, take that off, the pin for the crank. She'll be all timed up. Right, just unbolting the sump. Got these 8mm around here. There's a few different lengths. So you've got a long one, a medium one, and you've got the short ones. But you've got to pay attention to how they come out. Got to drop the aircon compressor off. I'll support that up in a sec with got these long bolts, which again are quite thin, tendency to snap, so be careful with those. So the last two, connect the sump to the gearbox, take those out. Starter motor's out now, so we'll get this off and I'll show you how the pin lines up. Alright, so I've taken out all the small bolts around the sump. There's a couple longer ones in there. It's 3 different sizes, 3 different lengths should I say. Short ones, medium ones, and then long ones that go up in there. So take these 13s off. Starter motor's out of the way. See the flywheel in there now. Get it lock. Pins out. Sorry, 10mm out where the pin goes. And drop the sump. Get it timed up. Well, I've got the sump off. You can see in there nicely. And that flat bit where the pin goes. Strainer's nice and clear. Tiny bit of belt material in there. Not looking in too bad shape. Toolkit we're using. We've got the cam locks. Pin goes in the crank. Pins the crank, and this one goes into the crank pulley, and then we've got the VBT hub ones. And then we've also got the flywheel locking tool, so we take the start motor out for, and then obviously the bolts then go with this tool and it bolts down the top of the head. So there's the first part, pin and the crank pulley. That's it, there's a little hole lines into. And there you can see how the pin locks up against crank. So we've got the, it's all locked in there. There's the crank. Bit of a fiddly one, don't come with any bolts to secure it with, so I just found any bolts. As long as they go in, the thread's good. So that's that done. Pin's done. And the other pin. So I've taken off the one idler. Oh, it's not great. Pin the drive belt tensioner, or should I say auxiliary belt tensioner, under the 210mm. I've done the alternator bolts as well. Get this lot off and then we'll go for the water pump up there. Got the torque, can't remember what they call it, but it ups the torque when I'm doing these crank bolts because they're bloody tight. So that's all rigged up, ready to go. I'll go and set the cams just to make sure the engine's completely locked off, and then we'll get this undone. So here's the cam locks. Pretty much just unwind this out. So they're both loose. Get them in. Make sure that they line up all the proper way. Otherwise, you won't be able to fit them. So we're going to wind down the little Allen key bolts. I think they're 5 or 6mm, and then we'll adjust this cam lock. And then with the lock off nut, once this is done up tight, and then we'll lock it off, and then we'll retighten these bolts just to make sure it's all in position, and then that'll be the engine fully timed, and then we can start getting this side cover off. So now I've nipped these up so they're locked onto the cam. Do up the locking nut, stop it from moving. Same on this one, and then so the last 8 bolts tighten up, all done. Just before we go down and undo the crank, there's a bracket here and an intake plastic housing here, which is these two here. So it's got 3 8mm bolts, that one's got 2 10s. So bottom pulley's off. It's never been done, don't know there's a friction washer in there. Obviously using this big torque tool. So that's off now. Let's get this casing off. So first of all we get the VVT hubs out. Then we'll take this coolant bottle out, and then we've got to go for the engine mount. Unbolt that, but first of all we've got to support the engine in a safe way so we don't cause any damage. So engine mounting's off, 15mm on the chassis rail, and then 18s on the actual mount itself. I've supported the engine down there with a block of wood on an axle stand just to make sure it doesn't move. It's a little bit, but I'll take all these bolts off. All these bolts off on this side casing are all different. I'll take them off, make a note of where they go, because they're all torqued when they go back on at different settings at different intervals. So you do like bolt 1 and 2, and then it's 3, 4. But there's a procedure which I'll follow anyway. Water pump housing as well. That's got bolts which go through the cover, so they need to be coming off as well, so they're part of it. You can start cracking them off. Side casing's all off. Be really careful with these. Best way to do it, it's a bit cardboard. Marco bolts don't look great. At least I know exactly where they go back, because they're all different torques, all different sizes, different lengths. If you get it wrong, you have to do it all again. So, bit of cardboard, punch some holes in it, get a rough idea, or rough shape of the casing, and then yeah, you can get that tensioner off, get the belt off. So, got the old belt off, tensioner, bolt obviously. This casing, we'll clean up all these faces, and all cleaned up, ready for some correct sealing. So we're up to here. So we get the new belt on, new tensioner on. We're using a Dayco belt, which is OE quality. It's what Ford used from factory apparently. So we're going to use it. There's a new kit, new bolt, new belt, new tensioner, preset with the pin. So we get that fitted, pull the pin, and it'll be good to go. We're refitting this tensioner. It's a little lug. It locks in to the engine. Make sure that's in. do that up and get the belt on. So new belt, tensioner on, bolt torqued up 25 newton-meters. Pin. So all we need to do now is literally clean up all these faces, get rid of all this old sealant here, get rid of all that. Same on the other cover, bolt back in, torque down the correct specifications.
So Ali said he ain't coming in tomorrow, he's going to be snowed in. What are you saying, Driblet? You coming in tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm on.
How are you getting in?
Moped.
He's coming in on his ped.
Pick me up, I'll be on the back of you.
Yeah, let's have
He's
it.
going to give Paul a backie. Paul will be swimming through it.
Oh, you get some skis. I'll try a bit of rope. Fucking.
So he ain't doing too bad considering it's his first time doing a wet belt on one of these. There's a hell of a lot involved. Just waiting for a sleeve because the water pump shaft was leaking. Hey! He's making snowballs, look! Oh, mate, I'd hit you straight on the bunts, you didn't move. The camera. You alright, mate? Shut up, mate. In the mouth. Bit cold, mate. Got most of the day, you liar. Don't act like I didn't clock that little red glow you had on. What? Exactly, because you had it on all day.
Yeah, it's toasty.
I'll clock that glow. Yeah, you ain't gonna come in tomorrow, Mush.
I don't reckon it's going to rain.
That rear wheel drive you got,
That won't lay.
you're gonna end up crashing.
Be gone by the morning.
You've been doing circles and that.
We haven't had no severe warning for like heavy snow, have we?
Mate, that ain't laying.
It's melting as it is.
You got to come in tomorrow, mate. You got to finish the wet belt.
Yeah.
I'll pick you up in the range if not.
You know what happens? Before the go, we can't deliver your parts.
Can't leave your parts. I'll make sure we get them.
We can't do it.
Just shut the door. Come on, pussy. I can't do it.
Been to the gym.
He's been to the gym for a couple of days. He's knackered. He can't shut the door.
I need to try and get this broken stud out.
Looks like an engine again.
So let's just remember where everything goes back.
Got to try and remember where the plugs go back, mate, eh? It's a guessing game.
Yes, indeed.
Still looks like an engine, mate. Got the bolt out then.
Yeah.
Little bit of heat. Battles and falls and out she come.
If you slice it open,
Yeah.
together now. Put 520 synthetic oil in there, which is the Eco Boost wet belt oil. We put the filter level up, just running at the moment, set the heaters, make sure they're nice and warm, had the car up in the air, check to make sure we've got no leaks, absolutely fine, everything's sealed, yeah, all good. leaks. It's running fine. You will have to scan and clear codes because obviously we've interrupted the fuel system. We've had low pressure fuel system codes which we've cleared. So yeah, it's all running, starts fine. All levels tops up to the max. Coolant's now bled, tops up, slightly overfilled, but take some of that out. So we've got a Ford Focus, 1 litre eco boosting for a wet belt change. As you can see, it's done just over 103,000 miles. I will put a list of all the tools that are required to remove this wet belt. Also the 2 tools, the timing tool to lock the engine and the torque multiplier. We'll show those as well that are needed. You will probably need to get those off eBay. And the other items, the other parts you will need to get from the main dealer. I'll do a list of all those because you do not get these in the kit. You need to buy those separately, so you need to factor those in when doing the job. Also, you need to get the correct oil, which is a 520. It's a special oil designed for this engine. This is the problem. People using the wrong oil causes the belt to degrade and basically fall to bits. So the correct oil, an oil filter. We'll need to use new coolant. We'll be draining the coolant system as well, and some gearbox oil. Once you've removed the drive shaft, which we'll show later, you will lose gearbox oil, so that will need to be topped up as well.
Yeah.